I can see the many faces walk through my mind of the ones that I've met and let a walk on by, never taking a moment to tell of his plan, of the blood that flowed.
Very nice evening.
Forgive me, Lord, for I have stumbled and fallen. Many times come up short of your calling. Still you're there every time you say you love me, and always will you be with me.
Just sitting there watching Granny. He's back. He was staring at us for a while. Now there he goes. He's gone. Well,
It's the love you
it's the last day at camp.
that helps me.
Leaves are changing.
Want to live every
Yep, they are changing.
life for you. Never wanting
Go see that one up there. Got golden.
to fall again. Every day to try and be so much more like you. So thank the Lord for understanding.
Sun's about to
and loving
get over top that tree right there. Right in the middle of that tree.
And I refuse to see you are always there to show me the way. And for this, my Lord, I could never repay. And for this, my Lord, I could never repay.
There he is. Good find, Malachi. Go get him. Go defense. Come on now.
Hey, good morning, folks. We're back in Delaware. Had a great time at the camp. So, what we found out is I forgot to bolt this cabinet down before we took our trip. So this cabinet had dumped forward, and these drawers are kind of heavy, along with the refrigerator slide. Okay, so what I've decided to do, because when this flopped over, the weight of this, it stripped out the screws that were holding in the slides down here. You know, these slides up underneath. I don't know if you can see it. Those slides there. So I decided, well, you know, because bouncing up and down the road, and I knew the screws were temporary to begin with, and I figured, well, we'll give it a go. If it holds, it holds, right? So the only two drawers I had trouble with was this one, and that's because the cabinet wasn't bolted down, and the refrigerator. The slides, I don't think are the problem. They're 150-pound slides. But when I took it apart to look at it, those little tiny screws that hold the slides into the wood, one was stripped out. So that was the problem. So I went and got these 832 1-inch bolts, and I drilled through the wood and put a washer and a lock nut on each one. So now it's back to, you know, normal. So same thing. Oh, let me get my coffee. Same thing up here in the kitchen. That's the refrigerator slide. The left side kept drooping down. Couldn't figure it out. I'm like, you know, did the slide go bad? That's before, because this happened on the way trip back to PA. Everything was fine on the trip to PA, but you know, so it's just the way it was. So then right here you can see that little screw, because it's just a little tiny screw, you know, 1/2-inch screw that holds that in. So I'll do the same thing. I'm going to take all these off because of the weight of that refrigerator. I'll drill all these through and put the bolts in, and then I think that'll solve that issue. So, you know, our shakedown trip to PA, it pointed those two things out. It pointed out that over here, of all the places, when I hooked up the water, tested the water out, down in there, everywhere where there's a red mark, those PEX fittings failed. I'm not a happy camper with PEX. I might just pull them out and put shark bites in. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that yet. Now, from what I could see, none of the other ones failed. There was one back at the water heater, just one out of all the ones that are back there. None at the sink. And I didn't see anything coming from the red side, which is the hot water heater. But I didn't have the hot water heater on. But I'm thinking water would still flow through it, though, even though, because there's no pump in the hot water heater. You know, it just heats up the water. So I got to cut all that conglomerate out of there, and that's a very tight space. So I might just get the shark bites and go ahead and none of the shark bites leaked. And this is, you know, this is a difficult area to work in, but so I got to get that taken care of. All the electrical is working perfectly. Like right now here, I could flip on the Blue Eddy solar generator and have 100% electric, all my 12 volt, all my 110, changeover switch. You know, if I had the shore power plug here, I could plug shore power in. So all that's fine. The only thing I wish is when we drove across last time, we wanted to get a generator on the way, and we could not find not one single, any place, any city that we went through, at Home Depot or Lowe's or anywhere that had the Honda 2000i or 2200i, whatever one that we got. They had just came out with a version that has the 30 amp RV plug on it. Yeah, the 2200i right there.
Okay, so that just has two 110 outlets, not the 30 amp. So I am thinking about selling that and just, you know, recouping that loss and go get me one with the 30 amp. That would be so much better. That way, if we're charging up the Blue Eddy off the generator, we can do it just by plugging in the 30 amp to the 30 amp on the side of the trailer, have power to everything, plus charge the battery. You know, couldn't do it all with just the 110. Now there is two 110 outlets. I could split it up, but then you run into extension cords. You know, got to have a window open or door cracked or whatever. So seriously thinking about that. I think that would be something that would be quite beneficial. So that's all I'm doing today, piddling around on this little stuff. We bought two new mattresses. Not that we needed them, but we just got tired of hauling the mattresses from the bedroom out to the trailer every time we wanted to take a trip. So we got new ones for the camper, which are only 10 inches thick, which will be better all around in here. I ain't even having a hard time with her hip getting up, because with the 12-inch mattress, she still wants that 3 or 4 inch other piece of memory foam on it for her hip. So at least with the 10-inch mattress, that's, you know, with a 12-inch mattress, that's pretty high. She has a hard time getting up into the bed. So we'll bring the new ones out here, take these old ones back in there, and that's how we're going to do that. So one other thing I want to do is the vents that I put over there in the electrical box, I'm going to put bigger vents in there, because I did notice that, I mean, I don't think the Blue Eddy didn't shut down, you know, there's no thermal issue, but to me it just feels like there's a good bit of heat still in there. Now I could put another CFM fan in there, but the power converter itself has a fan to keep it cool, but it's not always running. It's only running when the power converter gets to a certain temperature. Okay, so I'm thinking about either making these whole panels here vents down there, just getting a piece of black, I'll pull the top rail off, slide down in the T-slots, some black aluminum with the punched holes in it, put 2 of them in there. That should be plenty of ventilation, I would expect. Not that I think that there's a problem, because like I said, nothing had no warnings, nothing shut down, nothing. All the Blue Eddy's pretty protective in that area, but just for sake wise, we're gonna take care of that. So I don't have a tripod out here this morning, so I guess I could go back and get it. Just trying to get some things done today, because tomorrow my wife has declared that it's sign up for a new Advantage plan, and that takes all day, because they changed things on the one we just signed up for, you know, because it was at the end of the year when I got on it, and it was the best plan at the time, but now they've taken away a lot of stuff, and there's another plan that's kind of like that was, so we got to switch. So that'll be tomorrow's nightmare. But today I'm going to finish. I'm going to get this refrigerator, see if this solves that issue. I did get the 12 volt for the refrigerator hooked up. There's the plug there, because that was running off of 110, but it wasn't working. I'm like, why ain't it working? Why ain't it working? So come back over to the panel, start checking some things out. I said, well, let me check the fuse. I don't know why the fuse was blown. I pulled it out. The fuse was blown. So I'll put another fuse in. Still no work. And I'm like, what in the world? So then I got the book out, and I put all the fuses in there, but somehow I messed that one up, because the set power, that requires a 15 amp fuse. So I put the right fuse in there, it worked fine. So that was the only issue left to solve on the 12 volt side. So other than that, I mean, it seems like a lot, but it's really not.